Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm gonna do a real quick thing. I'm gonna do this article right here on vaccines that Infowars posted and that the New York Post had sent out. Okay, so that is on, and I just need to make sure audio. There's that. Go here. Minimize that audio so I don't hear it in my ear. And then we will go with it. All right, so this was posted on June 25th. Today, this morning, vaccine maker, pharmacist, professional medical scientist, and other opposed to recent changes in vaccine policy, banding together to create their own system for recommending and purchasing vaccines in a move designed to bypass government health agencies' recommendation and Washington Post reports. Now, the funny thing about this is check this, everybody. None of this nonsense was happening when a few years back, not like Biden or Trump, but before. They were basically given the right to do whatever the hell they wanted to by the Barack Obamas of the world and the Bushes. Because I believe Bush had, what the hell was it? It was Bush or Clinton, one of the two. We actually had a plague come in here from Africa. And then it re-hit in New York under Biden. Or not Biden, Obama. But these organizations that make the vaccines and the medications that are all over TV and everything, they're getting butthurt because RFK is basically saying, check it, you're going to have to pay money and you're going to have to inform everybody of uh, what your chemicals that you're going to stick into people do to them, medication wise. In other words, you're going to have to make your commercial a hell of a lot longer. I see no problem with that. Everybody should know what the hell's going in their vaccine, especially considering they're still refusing to announce how many people died during the COVID vax, which is pretty shameful if you take my advice for it. Let's see here. We have vaccine maker, forensic professional, medical scientist, and others. I already read that. Members of the New York group, of a new group, all of whom profit from vaccines industries, along with the state health officials and new advocate group, are strategizing ways to prevent the vaccine status quo under U.S. Health and Human Services (HHS) Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The anonymous group, which hopes to create a non-governmental vaccine system for vaccine recommendation and purchasing, according to the Post, is engaged in a series of discussions. Just that alone, right there. If you're gonna go that route, then I guess the laws of the government actually mean nothing, considering it says for the Second Amendment shall not be infringed, and guess what? The government has been infringing on that all the fucking time. Felons can't own guns. Felons should have guns. When they go to prison and they get out of prison, they've done their civic duty to the country, and yes, they should have a gun back. If they reoffend, guess what? They either die or they go back to prison. And when they come back out, they get their shit back. These guys right here are basically saying, we're going to do whatever it is that we want to do, regardless of what anyone else is saying, right? So they're like, we're going to cut out the United States government completely and just sell and do whatever we want. This is what happens when you give motherfuckers too much ability, like Congress. They have too much power, and then it becomes rules for thee, but not for me. These guys right here are basically saying, we're the ones that make the medication in this place, and if you don't, now granted, I haven't read to that point if they said it or not, but they're basically saying, we'll cut off all the shit that everybody uses in this world. We're gonna make everything so expensive nobody will be able to afford nothing. And I could be wrong, but why would they stop now? Why should they stop now? I mean, we got Trump in power, and everything about this today is now go over everything and just say fuck the consequences. Not going to listen to what the government says now, only when the government we support is in power. Topics including ordering vaccines directly from manufacturers and prioritizing recommendations from medical associations rather than from the Advisory Committee on Immunizations and Practical ACIP, which make vaccines recommendations to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention of CDC. The move comes as Kennedy dismissed all of ACIP seating committee members earlier this month due to concerns that are over conflicts of interest and committee. He filled 8 of the 17 committee seats a few days later. Here's the problem. All the people that were there were getting paybacks from the government. They were getting paybacks from the manufacturers. It's kind of like how there's this little innuendo out there right now that says that there is a actual cure for cancer. That's what's said. I don't know if that's true or not, but it was said that there's an actual cure, and the problem that's happening right now is that if they dish out the cure, then no one's going to pay them the money that they're owed for it. What's happening here? Which is pretty shameful if you ask me. So let's see here. Da, 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 commuting industry insider effect to create. Where is it at? Commenting on industry insiders' efforts to create new commission research science, James Lyson Wilder, PhD, told Defender they want to create and lend authority to the corporations backed corporation friendly committee to replace the one that was just disbanded. These moves, would represently replace the false facade of regulating vaccines by a government agency with over industry self governance and regulations. That post called the move by the unspecified group of actors extraordinary, but conceded that it faces major challenges. Major challenge. Yeah, the fucking government is the challenge. I don't trust the government whatsoever, but I don't technically trust uh, these corporations either, because all they want is the money, and they kill all of us off just for the hell of it. For example, insurance companies typically don't cover shots that aren't recommended by the ACIP, and ACIP recommendation is also the basis on which the federal vaccine for children program pays for vaccines for minors whose families can't afford them. That program covers vaccines cost for about half of the U.S. children. Well, if Democrats is true, they're not having kids, so go figure. Also, in many states, pharmacists' ability to prescribe or administer vaccines tried to the adult and child immunization schedule recommended by the ACIP and the state laws for the vaccine requirements, as well as requirements for healthcare workers, are typically tied to ACIP recommendation. Another problem, according to the Post, is that potential competing recommendations could sow confusion among doctors as well as patients if it becomes unclear which recommendation to follow. Well, that's true. You're basically going to have to say you got to get rid of the ACIP if you start yours, but then if you're not held to the government standards and no one can hold you accountable, like insurance companies can't hold them accountable. You just die. Well, we don't gotta pay your bill. You're dead. You know. Let's see here. Another program, according to the Post, is that the potential competing recommendations could so. Yeah, I already read that part. Lyons Weller said the physicians should be wary of any recommendation coming from the non governmental group, especially because participating in federal programs will failing to comply with ACIP recommendations could violate statutes. Wonder if the government's actually going to hold them accountable if people die and get sick or start confusing. The dismissed ACIP committee members can form whatever opinion group they want, but physicians follow their recommendations over the rules, regulations, and the HHS at their own peril, he said. In a recent article, Leon Wilson said calls to ignore recommendations from the ACIP committee are legally circulated by the former ACIP members who were dismissed because their ties with big pharma. That's true. They were getting paid some major money to do this shit. Let's see here. Former Mark collects dismissed ACIP members. Dr. Helen Chu was quoted to recent opened in MedPage today as calling on physicians to turn away from ACIP vaccine. Recommended she received thousands of dollars from Merck in the year before her ACIP appointed. Merck is a manufacturer of multiple major childhood vaccines, including the Gardasil HPV vaccine, the MMR2 for measles vaccine, mumps, and rubella and chickenpox vaccine, and several others. Undermining ACIP in a fever of non-sanctuary organizations may represent a breach of federal compliance by physicians and healthcare individuals receiving federal funds. Leon's Wheeler wrote Chu should be well aware that the fact that he added individual purchases linked medical associations and recommendations. According to the past the group's discussion are being filtrated by the Vaccine Project, New Innovation, and to the University of Minnesota, which includes vaccines manufacturers and health insurance, medical association. The group is funded by these people, a nonprofit funded by Walmart, Eris. Oh, well, definitely. If you're being funded by the Walmart Eris, that's definitely a bad idea. She wants the downfall of America because she's old, and that's the problem with a lot of these old people in the world today. They're gonna die soon. So their goal right now is to fuck everything up as much as they possibly can. So they can, uh, when they die, that they don't have to worry about the what you call it, the repercussions of it. Like not Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi. Every 4 years, she says she's not going to run again. She goes, "I'm not going to run. I've done my part." And then something happens towards her seat being taken, and then boom, she's running again and she wins. Maxine Waters, same thing. She's not going to run. Something new happens. She's running again. I don't know if it's new regulations or what, but they're too fucking old. And at this point, they don't care what happens in the country anymore, because by the time things actually take root, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to be alive to reap the benefits of what they've started. Let's see. U.S. Former U.S. Food and Drug Administration (FDA) Commissioner Margaret Hamburg and Dr. Harvey Finberg, former president of the Institute of Medicine and current president of the Garden and Betty Moore Foundation co-chair and site members steering committee, leading the individuals in an op-ed published in a Start News Hamburg and Finberg said the project will use the best available evidence to safeguard vaccine policy information and utilization. You see, the problem is they had from Trump through Biden to get their COVID vaccines uh, up to standards, and none of that actually happened. In an open publish in Start, Hamburg and Feinberg said the project will use the best. Okay, read that. When the group was launched, Michael Upstrecht, PhD, a member of the COVID Vaccine Advisory Board under the Biden administration, said it was not intended to serve as a parallel version of the ACIP. However, according to today's repost from Post, that intention appears to have changed. Dr. Annie Zeke, member of the Vaccine High Interlink Projects, told the Post that having each state set its own recommendations, medical obsessions, particularly in the vaccine integrity projects, talks include that American Academy predict ACP and the American Academy of Family Physicians and the American College of Physicians, damn, that's a lot of people. And American Physicians Association and National Foundation and Inflammation Disease and Post. These are all I'm talking about right here, man. Look at all those fucking organizations. I'm supposed to listen to every single one of these motherfuckers? It should only be one. Not fucking, there's like 7 of them there. In her op-ed, Chu also named the American College of Obstructions and Generous ACOG as a key group uh, advising alternate vaccine policy. Yeah, see, now that Trump's in office, the Democrats are like, "Oh, we definitely can't align with this administration. We're gonna screw more shit up on the sideline." Lyons Wheeler noted that the AAP has received millions of dollars in grants from Merck, Senior, Pfizer, and ACOG as insured as products from its sponsors without conducting any independent review. Oh, you mean like CNN and Fox News and all the other networks on TV, Disney? Let's see here. The ACOG also took 11 million from the CDC to push COVID-19 vaccines on pregnant women. The HHS spokesperson Andrew Nixon said that the agency of the CDC remained committed to ensure that the vaccine guidelines is relegated, independent, and truly in service to the health and American people, not cooperate interests. Oh no, your guys' interests are yours. They don't align with us, the people. Let's see. The Post reports that Nixon also called one of the new coalitions leading the organization's self-appointed echo chamber, uh, masquerading as oversight under the Kennedy, the CDC, and changed its guidelines on COVID-19 vaccine on pregnant women from recommendation no guidance. One member of the vaccine interrogly project HSA, Asa Hushi, former Republican governor of Arkansas, noted that the beyond challenge to the COVID-19 vaccine recommendation, no other change have been made to the vaccine policy since Kennedy took office. In the upcoming meeting this week, the ACIP is set to vote to RSV, Rosemary virus immunization recommendation for pregnant mothers, babies, and young children. The committee will also vote on the mercury containing flu vaccine and will discuss but not vote on other vaccine including COVID-19 chikungunya. I ain't reading that shit. I think that COVID-19 news shot right there is the one where they're basically putting COVID-19 vaccine in what was it? The flu shot that you get every year. So those of you that are there, thanks. Like and subscribe. Uh, it's been a minute since I did these kind of things right here, but I'll do my best to start. Stop talking like a damn robot. Ah, shit, dude. It's been like a half a year. I've popped on once in a blue moon. But I'm doing this new character thing. And I just hope that you guys will like and subscribe and work with me as I get a little better with this. All right. You guys have a good one. And pay attention to what your states are going to be doing on vaccines. All right. Y'all have a good one.